It's almost time to rally in the valley. But first, it's the Matsu Miners pregame show, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts.
Good evening, everybody. We are live in Palmer at Herman Brothers Field, getting ready to bring you Matsu Miners baseball on the Miners Radio Network. Tonight, the Miners take on the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. I'm Austin Pollock. Emma Tiedemann to my right. We are almost ready to go. Just about 13 minutes until first pitch between the Miners and the Chinooks. It is Military Appreciation Night, so no green or yellow tops. It's more of the camouflage look tonight for the Miners, but let's break down last night's game. For the Miners, an 11-8 win over the Oceanside Waves, a non-league game. And the scoring started early, 3 runs in the first, 4 in the second, and then 3 in the third. But it just seemed like the bats were just on top of everything. I mean, Cameron Frost, when you look at him in that first spot in the batting order, 3 for 4, 4 runs scored, and Matt Decker, he was our player of the game. He was just all over the ball last night.
That's right. He had his first home run with the Miners at his first at-bat, then followed that up with a single and then a double in the next inning in the third inning, scoring runs off of all 3 of those at-bats, obviously, of course, after the home run. But, yeah, just an outstanding night, especially with those first 4 guys at the top of the order. You know, you pointed out last night, 10 of the 11 runs scored by the Miners were scored by Frost, Rogers, Panachone, or Decker. And it was just outstanding work by the bats. And then the hitting, on the other hand, Josh Morris threw 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 strikeouts, 3 walks, 3 runs. But the 3 runs didn't come until the 5th and 6th innings. Up until then, the first 4, through the first 4 innings, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. Just an outstanding performance by Josh Morris, followed up by Terrazas, who threw 1 inning, 2 hits, no runs. And John Reed, 1 inning at the very end, 2 strikeouts, no hits, no walks, no runs. So I think that the pitching side of the Miners game is coming together also.
Yeah, we'll see Kyle Serrano on the hill tonight. Didn't pitch so well in his last start, but back to last night, it was the 1 through 4 hitters that provided pretty much all of the offense for the Miners. They combined to hit 8 for 17. The 1 through 4 hitters, that was Cameron Frost, Jordan Rogers, Paul Panachone, and Matt Decker, and all 4 of those guys are back in the lineup tonight. We'll get you the Miners lineup in just a little bit. But talking about Kyle Serrano right now, it was a little shaky his last start. He has faced the Chinooks before. That was in the first game of the season on June 8th. Pitched all right, but since then, it's been a little, you don't know what you're going to get from Serrano. He has an ERA of 5 right now on the season. He has appeared in 3 games. All 3 were starts, 9 innings, and he's given up 5 earned runs, and his last start was on June 19th against the Pilots here at Herman Brothers. Went 2 innings, gave up a hit and 3 earned runs, and here's the big number, 7 walks. It's the walks that have hurt the Miners starters, mainly the 1 and 2 from what we think is in that rotation of Kyle Serrano and Ryan Hendricks. But he's been working with Brad Baker this week on trying to work on that command. I'm excited to see what the difference is tonight.
That's right. And talking with Serrano, you know, he comes here to Palmer, and he was wanting to really get that number of walks down. You know, we'll see a lot of fastballs from Serrano. Very, very strong pitcher. See about 92, 93 mile-an-hour fastballs. So he has that speed and that power, but he just needs to zero in on that strike zone and throw strikes, because the walks are really killing the Miners. And last night, you know, Josh Morris did a great job. He only walked 3. There are only 4 Oceanside Waves players that were walked last night. That was 3 by Josh Morris and 1 by Grissom. But Terrazas, Boyer, and Reed didn't walk any batters. And we saw that. You know, that kind of was a big thing to see. You know, we're talking also whenever the Miners were at Mulcahy against the Pilots, that there were no batters walked until late in the game, and that kept the game close, and the Miners won that game as well. So I think that the pitching side of this Miners game is definitely coming around lately, and that's finally kind of matching up with the bats. You know, you see a lot of teams sometimes, the batting is there, but the pitching is not. The pitching is hot, but the bats just cannot get any hits. So But now they seem to be kind of meshing, and that's excited. It's exciting to watch that.
Yeah, it's important for this game the Miners get both. They get the pitching, and then they also get the hitting. As we're almost ready to go, but let's get you the starting lineup for the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. They are 4-8 in the National League. The Miners on top at 9-4, and then the Pilots second at 7-6. The Chinooks are 1-4 against the Miners this summer, and here is the lineup turned in by manager John Groth. Stephen Pollux leads it off in center field. James Navant bats second in right. Stephen Carkenny bats third in left field. We have not seen him. This is his first game of the summer. Jackson Kramer, the designated hitter in the cleanup spot. Kyle Conkle bats fifth at first base. Billy Arndt, the second baseman from Princeton, bats sixth. Josh Altman bats seventh at shortstop. Griffith Rourke at third bats eighth. And A.J. Durr does the catching tonight for Mike Fairchild. And Fairchild is 0-1 with a 7.36 ERA. He has started 3 games, 11 innings, 12 hits, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts. He's faced the Miners once. He also got the opening day nod. He went 2 innings, gave up a hit, no runs, 1 walk, and no strikeouts. So it's a rematch of opening day between these two teams and also the two pitchers, of course. Fairchild for the Chinooks and Serrano for the Miners. We are just about ready to go. It is very, very bright here again at Herman Brothers, and on the drive-in we were looking at the dark clouds and how it looked like it was going to rain, and even Pete Christopher, the general manager, said before the game that he hopes to get this one in because of the rain. But right now it's blue skies, and I mean the clouds are out and the sun is shining just right into the booth, but there are clouds. It's pretty dark clouds out in left field over by the mountains, but looks like this one should be okay as it is Military Appreciation Day at Herman Brothers. As head coach Ben Taylor is at home plate with the umpires, just waiting on John Groth for the Chinooks. The Chinooks have lost one of their, perhaps maybe their best hitter in Nick Cavello due to an injury. He has made his way home for the summer as John Groth is making his way to home plate to meet with manager Ben Taylor and the umpires to exchange the lineup cards, and we're going to take you inside Herman Brothers Field in just a few moments for the pregame ceremonies on Military Appreciation Day. And if you have to pick one thing for this game, what do you think is the key to tonight's game?
Well, I'd say that the Miners' batting has not been an issue against the Chinooks. I think it's mostly been the pitching. So I'm really looking at Serrano and looking at what he has to bring and seeing how he's improved since his time off, since the 19th, you said. See how his command has been. I'm very interested to see how Serrano handles the start at home at Herman Brothers against the Chinooks again. You know, he's getting the second start against the Chinooks. So that's really where I'm looking tonight, is that Serrano and also the relief pitchers that come in.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. I think it starts with Serrano. If he can have good command of his pitches, especially that fastball and his breaking pitches, Miners have a very good chance. As long as they get the offensive support that Serrano needs, they've got a good chance to get that 10th win of the season and just to increase that lead. They have a 2-game lead in the National League over the Pilots, who the Miners will face tomorrow. Almost ready here. It is 6:55 here in Alaska. Crowd still filing in. I think something else that I'm excited to see is Paul Panaccione. He struggled against Chinooks pitching this summer. He is 4 for 21 against the Chinooks, and I'm really excited to see if he can. It's not really a slump. He's still just played unbelievable baseball. I mean, he's reached base in all 13 games. He's 5 for his last 14 with 2 extra base hits. He's also first in the National League. He's actually first in the Alaska Baseball League in doubles. This is a very talented young player, and I was actually talking with Ben Taylor before the game, giving him some of these little tidbits about the Miners, and he actually kind of started to think, wow, we've got a great shortstop and a little kid who's only 5'10", but height's irrelevant because this kid can hit, and he's definitely one of the biggest pieces to the Miners lineup.
Definitely. And, you know, if you can always rely on a couple of players, always get on base in every game, that's an extra base runner. That's an extra run in situations that you might need it, and that's a really kind of good thing to have. And there you have, I know, quite a few little stats like that you'll probably bring up during the game. But that's just a well-rounded team. Also, Panachone, one of those go-to players, reliable guy, an outstanding shortstop. Also saw some good plays with him at the shortstop position last night. And that's just a great player to have on your team.
Yeah, nothing against the bottom half of the lineup, but this top of the half is just it's just kind of like you can't do wrong.
Right.
I really don't. I think these guys are just on top, and it's the top of the lineup that's really fun to watch with Cameron Frost, Paul Panachone, Cam Newell has a 9-game hit streak, and Matt Decker, let's talk about him for a second, a 5-game hit streak, and what a night he had last night, and I think he came into the post-game show last night with the biggest smile on his face.
Oh, definitely. You could tell he was just so happy about his performance, and who won it? A home run, a double, a single. It's a great night.
We are just about ready to go here at Herman Brothers Field. Let's take you inside for the pregame ceremonies.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Herman Brothers Field for tonight's matchup between the visiting Chugiak Chinooks and your home team, Matsu Miners. We would like to start this evening's festivities off by focusing our attention to center field for our national anthem. Here to sing our national anthem today from Wasilla High School, a sophomore and all-state choir singer, Mackenzie Sims.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Great job, Mackenzie. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Military Appreciation Night at the ballpark. And here tonight to throw out our first pitch is Mr. Dan Broda from the Frontiersmen. Dan is a 21-year Army veteran who served for us in Operation Iraqi Freedom in 2004-2005, and he is also an employee at the Frontiersmen. Thank you for your service, Dan, and great pitch. Starting lineup for tonight's Matsu Miners. Batting first, number 22, playing center field, Cameron Frost from Washington State.
With championships in 2004, 2007, 2009, and 2010, the Miners are looking to bring a title back to the Matsu Valley.
This is the longest championship drought in 10 seasons.
8 former Miners selected in the 2014 MLB draft, and head coach Ben Taylor is back for another season of baseball in the Valley.
Here we go. Matsu Miners Baseball on the Miners Radio Network.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into Herman Brothers Field. I am Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock. Tonight, the Miners face the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks, and they're coming off of a big win last night over the Oceanside Waves out of California. They beat the Waves 11-8, and our player of the game last night, Matt Decker, with a home run in the first inning, a single in the second, a double in the third. Just an outstanding performance by Matt Decker. But looking into tonight's game, we have Kyle Serrano out of the University of Tennessee on the mound for the Miners. Through 9 innings pitched, giving up 7 hits, 6 runs, 5 of those earned, walked 13, struck out 16, and has started in 3 games so far with an ERA of 5. So, Austin, what are you looking forward to for this game?
Oh, I think the biggest thing is Kyle Serrano. Does he have command of all of his pitches, not just the fastball, not just the breaking ball, maybe a little bit more so of the breaking ball, but it starts with him. He's got to be on top of his game, and I think he will be.
And the Miners wearing a new jersey today, camo for Frontiersman Military Appreciation Day here at the ballpark. Just about ready to start things off here. A couple minutes past 7 o'clock p.m. in Alaska. Beautiful day, a little bit cloudy, about 60 degrees. The sun's still high in the sky. Here's the first pitch by Serrano. Swung on, foul back. It is Stephen Pollux, the center fielder for the Chinooks, hitting .264 with 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, and 3 doubles. The left-handed batter facing Serrano, the right-handed pitcher. Big swing, that's strike 2. Looked a little high for the pitch, but if Pollux is going to swing at it, I'm sure Serrano will take those strikes any way he can get them. 0-2 pitch by Serrano, big swing, and that's a strikeout. 3-pitch strikeout to start off the game for Kyle Serrano.
That's just
pretty good way to start.
Yeah, that's just how Serrano needs to start, with 3 pitches, 3 strikes. That's the best. That's a confidence booster for him, and he needs that.
Brings up James Navant, the right fielder for the Chinooks.
Navant is 10 for 15 against the Miners this summer.
First pitch a little low for ball 1. One-0 pitch by Serrano. Little high and inside this time for ball 2. It's 2 balls in a row now after 3 thrown strikes. Pitch in there, that's a strike right down the middle for the fastball. 2 balls, 1 strike, and 1 away for the Miners. Out in the outfield, Brandon Smith in left, Cameron Frost in center, Cam Newell in right. Here's the pitch, big swing, strike 2. And the infield for the Miners, Rogers at third, Panachone at short, Blazer at second, Decker at first. And doing the catching tonight is Josh Meyer. And that is strike 3 and the second strikeout for Kyle Serrano. 2 strikeouts, 2 outs. Brings up Clark Kinney, the left fielder, who this is his first game with the Chinooks this summer that he has played in. And his first pitcher he's going to face is Kyle Serrano.
So yeah, fastball, changeup, curveball from Serrano. The fastball ranges from about 90 to 94.
And that's in there for strike 1. And I think that he uses the fastball the most, probably, because it is quick.
Yeah, he can probably get that up to maybe 95. 96, 97 is probably a stretch.
High and outside, ball 1.
Serrano was a 29th round draft pick of the Colorado Rockies in the 2013 draft. Good young arm.
1-1 pitch. Low, ball 2.
His father, Dave, is the head coach of the baseball team at the University of Tennessee, where Kyle will be a sophomore next year. I think Dave's actually on his way up to Alaska.
2-1 pitch, swung on, fly ball into left field. Going back for it is Brandon Smith, makes the catch. And that is 3 up, 3 down for Kyle Serrano and the Matsu Miners. No hits, no runs, no errors, nobody left on. So we head to the bottom of the first. Miners and Chinooks tied at 0. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Leading things off for the Miners at the bottom of this first inning, Cameron Frost in center field tonight. Frost hitting .282 with 1 home run. Excuse me, that was .382 with 1 home run, 8 RBIs, 5 doubles, and 2 triples. Frost kind of, that threat, that leadoff threat as he hits a ground ball under the glove of Rourke, the third baseman, and that is a leadoff single to start things off.
Boy, Cameron Frost has now hit in all but 2 games. It's a 5-game hitting streak for him now, 8 for 19.
And last night, against the Waves, each batter who was a leadoff batter that reached base scored for the Miners. So those leadoff hitters getting on base is very important for the Miners. Brings up Paul Panachone, the shortstop, hitting .300 with 9 RBIs and 6 doubles. Takes the first pitch as a ball. On the mound, Michael Fairchild for the Chinooks. 1-0 pitch, swung on for strike 1. Frost with a lead off at first, has 3 stolen bases on the season. Throw back to first. Frost safe as he dives into the base. Fairchild sets. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on ground ball to the shortstop. Altman makes the throw to first. And in time, but Frost is able to make it to second. And that is the first out of the night for the Chinooks. Next up for the Miners, Cam Newell, the right fielder. Newell, another very hot batter right now for the Miners, hitting .484, 2 home runs, 12 RBIs, and 3 doubles.
Now batting for the Miners, make some noise for our right fielder, Cam Newell.
Newell, very talented batter, able to hit those 2 home runs with a lot of RBIs, 12 already. Left-handed batter facing Fairchild, the right-handed pitcher. First pitch swung on ground ball to Rourke, the third baseman. Couple steps, makes the throw to first, and Frost able to reach third. So 2 away, but a runner on third. That's Cameron Frost, and that would be the first run of the game, the leading run for the Miners.
Now batting for the Miners, first baseman Matt Decker.
Brings up our player of the game last night, Matt Decker, the first baseman out of Stanford. Decker hitting .333, 1 home run, 4 RBIs, and 1 double. All of those came last night. See, fouls the first one back. Strike 1. So Frost had a single to start things off. Panachone grounded out, but Frost made it to second. Then Newell just grounded out also, and Frost made it to third. At the plate, Matt Decker. First pitch, and that will go fair. Well, actually, they're going to call it foul. Frost thought it was fair.
Yeah, I think Decker may have fouled it right off his foot, or he fouled it off the plate. Usually when you hear like a second something that's like I don't know what you want to call it, contact, or maybe it sounds like a second hit. Usually it's off the plate, off his foot.
0-2 pitch. Swung on ground ball into center field, scooped up by Altman, the shortstop, and makes the throw to first. So that is now 3 outs. The 6-3 put out for Decker with 1 left on, so no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on as we head to the top of the second inning. Things are still tied at 0 between the Miners and the Chinooks. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Back here at Herman Brothers, things are still tied at 0 runs apiece for the Chinooks and the Miners. We're at the top of the second inning, and Kyle Serrano out of the University of Tennessee still on the mound for the Miners, facing Kramer, the designated hitter for the Chinooks. Serrano struck out the first 2 batters in the first. First pitch high and inside, ball 1. Struck out Pollux and Devant. Then Carkinney had a fly out to end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down for Serrano already with 2 strikeouts. Not a bad way to start things off. 1-0 pitch, big swing by Kramer. That's strike 1.
Serrano looks really strong early on, looks very comfortable, and looks dialed in.
1-1 pitch, high and outside, ball 2. Kramer, the left-handed batter, a very large open stance, very wide. He puts his foot in the back left corner, and his right foot almost hits the front of it as he swings again for strike 2.
Well, when the Chinooks have these navy blue tops with the red numbers and letters and all that stuff, it reminds me a lot of Travis Hafner when he played for the Indians.
2-2 pitch, outside, ball 3.
So if any of you at home watching or maybe having a hard time seeing the batter, looks pretty clear.
Yeah.
Then looks a lot like Hafner.
Hits a deep ball into center field. Going back is Frost. That'll get down, hits the wall. And Kramer rounds first, heads into second. Here's a throw in by Frost. And that is the first hit for the Chinooks.
Yeah, Frost was going back. He kept that eye on that ball, but hit way too hard. Way too hard. Good piece of hitting by Kramer.
So that puts a runner in scoring position for the Chinooks. Brings up Kyle Conkle, the first baseman. Conkle hitting .211 with 6 RBIs and 1 double. Kramer with a lead off a second. Serrano gets the pitch from Meyer. Quick look at second. Here's the pitch. Shows bunt. Said pulls back and takes it as a strike. Kramer still with that lead off a second. Serrano doesn't seem too concerned with him. Here's bunt just right in front of home plate. Meyer picks it up over the head of Rogers, and Kramer slides into third, jumps back up, and will cross home plate for the first run of the game. And that is a single for Conkle. And Kramer with the first run of the game. Meyer he picked it up. The ball was about 1.5 feet in front of that home plate. Meyer doing the catching tonight, and just threw it way over the head of the third baseman, Jordan Rogers. Rogers left up, could not even catch it in his glove, putting his glove over his head. That's how Kramer was able to score the first run. Now the Chinooks lead 1-0. The top of this second. Brings up Billy Arndt, the second baseman. Shows bunt, pulls back, high and outside, ball 2. Kyle Conkle on first base for the Chinooks. Billy Arndt at the plate. Billy Arndt, the second baseman, batting on the right side of the plate. Has 3 RBIs, 3 doubles, shows bunt again. And that's another ball. That one's high. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Serrano sets. Here's the pitch. In there for strike 1. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Shows bunt, and it goes off the bat of Arndt. That's strike 2. And Arndt wanted to bunt that, but it went off of his bat whenever he was setting it up. And Kyle Serrano, that would have been a ball that was very high, decided it's just another strike. Here's the 3-2 pitch. High, ball 4, and that's the first walk of the game for Serrano. That puts Arndt at first and Kunkel at second. With Kramer already scored, Chinooks leading 1-0. Brings up Altman, the shortstop, hitting 192 with 2 RBIs. Altman, a right-handed batter.
Decker, the first baseman's playing in. Ground ball to him. He's probably going to go to third.
Shows bunt, fouls it off towards the... Actually, it hits the roof of the Chinooks dugout on the third base side. Strike one.
He's also playing the bunt. Decker at first base. Not so much for Rogers at third. Now he comes in.
Altman shows bunt again. Here's the pitch. Pulls back. That's ball one. Altman sets back into the batter's box. Serrano sets. Altman already showing bunt. Here's the pitch by Serrano. Pulls back again, and that's a strike two.
Big pitch right there for Serrano. It's very unlikely that Altman's going to show that bunt down again. 2 strikes.
1 ball, 2 strikes now for Altman.
Nobody out.
Here's the pitch. Swung on, foul back the first base side. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Altman has fouled back quite a few now. Taps the bat on a shoulder. Here's the pitch by Serrano. Another foul. It's been a 5-pitch at-bat so far. And it looks like our bat boy is back.
Yeah, I think Hunter Simmons was doing the honors last night. I didn't get a chance to talk to Hunter this afternoon. I meant to ask him about that. I'll ask him after the game if I find him.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. High, ball 3. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Nobody out. 1 run has already scored for the Miners. There's runners on first and second. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Swung on. Short fly ball caught by Panachone, the shortstop. And that is 1 away for the Miners, and the runners stay at first and second. That brings up Billy Rourke, the third baseman for the Chinooks. He's been hitting .244 with 9 RBIs and 1 double. Excuse me, that is actually Griffith Rourke. Rourke, a left-handed batter. Here's the first pitch, outside, ball 1 by Serrano.
I can't decide whether those pants are all the way down or what's with those socks. It's like
I think I would describe that as capris.
that works.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
It's about the length. That's in there for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out for the Miners. Pitched by Serrano. And there for strike 2. Rourke kind of bounced back thinking it was inside. But the umpire calls it as a strike, and that's 2 strikes now.
Yeah, big pitch coming up here for Serrano. Be great if he can get that strikeout.
1-2 count with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Foul down the third base side, close to the Chinooks dugout, and most of the Chinooks players that were outside the dugout just ducked to get out of the way. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, and 2 runners on at first and second. Here's the pitch. High and inside, ball 2. Outfield playing pretty much straight away. Cameron Frost playing a couple of feet over to our left, his right. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, high fly ball into right center field. Going back for it is Newell. Newell makes the catch. Runners tag, and Conkle will make it into third. So now runners on the corners. for the Chinooks and 2 away for the Miners.
Batting for the Chinooks, third baseman Griffin Ward.
That brings up A.J. Durr.
Correction, batting for the Chinooks, catcher.
A.J. Durr playing A.J. Durr doing the catcher tonight. Doing the catching. Oh my goodness. I'm still not on my game. Durr has not had a hit yet. Batting at all zeros. Durr, the right-handed batter. Here's the pitch. Over its head, and that's ball 2. Good catch by Meyer to make sure that ball doesn't pass him because Kyle Conkle is at third base.
A.J. Durr is 0 for 9.
I knew he hadn't hit yet.
But he has also scored 4 runs. He's walked 4 times.
He
Been
fouls
hit-
this one back.
Been hit by a pitch as well. Kyle Serrano, gotta get out of a jam here. It's that second run 90 feet away with Conkle at third base.
2-1 pitch. Foul tip. Durr still ran to first, but it rolls down the first base side and rolls foul.
You know, they say if you think it's close, just run. Just run.
Don't want to chance it.
No, unless you foul it straight back or foul it in the air off to the right and it's over a fence, then you kind of know it's foul. But when it's something like that where it's just on the ground near the line, run it out.
So
Never
now
know.
2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs for the Miners. Runner goes at first. And that is a stolen base for Billy Arndt. Arndt got quite the jump on Serrano. Serrano hadn't even done his motion for this pitching yet. So now runners on second and third. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Big swing for strike 3. And that is the third strikeout for Serrano, but some damage has been done at the top of the second inning. The Chinooks lead the Miners 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Starting things off for the Miners in the bottom of the second inning, Brandon Smith, the left fielder. First pitch a little low for ball 1. Smith in left field tonight. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And there for strike 1 for Michael Fairchild. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Little low, ball 2. Smith hitting 255 with 6 RBIs and 2 doubles. Two-two pitch by Fairchild. Sets, kicks, here's the pitch. Big swing, that's strike 2. Smith last night was 1 for 4, had a stolen base. Also was playing left field. 2-2 pitch. High fly ball down the third base side, going back for it. It's at the wall. Karkini, the left fielder, picks it up. Smith rounds first, heads to second, and is in there standing for a leadoff double to start the bottom of the second inning for the Miners.
Boy, that's a big hit right there for Brandon Smith with nobody out. And part of the lineup that's been pretty hot lately. With nobody out, a good chance to get that run in and tie this game early. Miners don't like to be down. We know that.
That brings up Nick Senzel, the designated hitter. Hitting 178, but has 6 RBIs, 2 doubles, and a triple. First pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Senzel out of the University of Tennessee along with Kyle Serrano and Jordan Rogers. All playing tonight. Another pitch low, ball 2. Tying run is at second base. That's Brandon Smith. The leading run is at the plate. And Nick Senzel. 2-0 pitch. And there for strike 1. Senzel thought about swinging about it, kind of came around, but instead pulled back. Still called a strike. Smith with a lead off a second. Fairchild gets the pitch from Durr. Quick look back to Smith. Here's the pitch. High fly ball into deep left field. Going back for it is Karkini at the wall. Makes the catch. Brandon Smith tags up at second. Heads into third. Here's the throw. Slides in. And is safe.
Nick Senzel got his job done right there. That's all he had to do.
And that brings up Nick Blazer, the second baseman tonight. Blazer out of, it's Cal State Northridge, right?
Blazer is Cal State Northridge, yes.
I always mess it up with like UC Northridge and stuff.
I get it confused with UC Santa Barbara because Newell, who goes to UC Santa Barbara, and Blazer came in at the same time.
Right. So Blazer out of the state of California. So he takes the first pitch as a ball. The right-handed batter facing Fairchild, the right-handed pitcher. It's a 1-0 pitch, high and inside, ball 2. Blazer hitting .316 with 2 RBIs and 1 double. Steps back into the batter's box. Smith, the tying run at third. Here's a 2-0 pitch outside, ball 3. So far, Fairchild has only given up 2 hits and no runs against these very hot Miners batters. Pitch, little high, ball 4. That is a 4-pitch walk for Michael Fairchild. And Blazer will take his base at first. So now runners on the corners, tying run at third, leading run at first. Brings up Josh Meyer.
For your Miners, make some noise for your catcher, Josh Meyer.
Meyer doing the catching tonight for the Miners. I always get that messed up every single time. Meyer had a home run against the Bucks at Mulcahy a couple days ago. That was his first home run of the season.
You saw the catcher, A.J. Durr, giving the signs to the infield on what to do. The ground ball, third baseman Rourke is playing in. Conkle, the first baseman, holding on the runner, Blazer.
First pitch low for ball 1 to Meyer. Meyer hitting .217 with 1 home run, 1 RBI, and 1 double. Throw back to first. Blazer still safe. Nick Blazer at first base, Brandon Smith at third. Miners trail 1-0 behind the Chinooks. Pitch outside, ball 2. 1 away so far in the bottom of the second. 2 balls, no strikes to Josh Meyer. Is at the plate. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And they're called strike. Strike number 1.
Center fielder Pollux is probably like maybe a step 2 or 3 toward left center. There's a big gap out in right center. And if Meyer can hit it opposite field and get it to the wall, Blazer could probably score from first.
Definitely has the speed to do that.
Yeah, make it a 2-1 game. Of course, the runner on third is Smith.
Throw back to first again. Blazer still safe.
Yeah, well, Brandon Smith, whenever Fairchild throws over to first, I'm actually watching Smith. He's doing a lot of dancing down that third base line.
Ground ball by Meyer off the ankle of Fairchild. Not able to scoop it up in time. And Smith scores, and Blazer makes it to second, along with Meyer now at first. So Meyer hit a ground ball back to the mound at Michael Fairchild, the pitcher, and went off of, I think it was his left ankle, and bounced off into the third baseman to Billy Arndt. Arndt put his glove down, it's a ground ball, bobbled it, and Meyer was able to beat the throw to first. In the meantime, Blazer made it to second, and Brandon Smith made it home for the tying run at first. Now things tied up at 1 run apiece between the Miners and the Chinooks.
Now batting for your Miners, your third baseman, number 7, Jordan Rogers.
And that brings up Jordan Rogers, a third baseman out of the University of Tennessee.
Jordan, keep it going.
The leading run is at second. Nick Blazer, here's the first pitch. Low ball 1. Rogers hitting .194 with 7 RBIs and 3 doubles. Fairchild sets. Blazer dancing around second. Here's the pitch. And there for strike 1. Rogers waving the bat. Fairchild sets. Quick look back to Blazer at second. Here's the pitch. Swung on, high fly ball, foul down the first base side.
Meyer has been credited with a hit, not an error by the second baseman, Billy Arndt. It's a little bit of a tough play as it's off the mound. Arndt didn't exactly field it cleanly in and out of his glove. But it's a tough play, so Meyer gets the hit. And the RBI.
Here's a pitch by Fairchild. Swung on, high fly ball to deep center field. Going back is Pollux. Blazer tags up at second. Pollux makes the catch, the throw into third, and the throw in is dropped by Altman. Blazer slides in at third, and now the leading run is just 90 feet away, and Meyer still at first. Now runners on the corners for the Miners. That brings us back to the top of the order with Cameron Frost, who had a single at his last at bat in the second inning. Frost playing center field tonight. Steps into the batter's box. Meyer with the lead off of first. Blazer with a short lead off of third. First pitch in the dirt, ball 1. A.J. Durr, the catcher, able to keep that ball in front of him to prevent Nick Blazer trying to take home or Meyer stealing second. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Swung on, foul ball, strike one. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs for the Miners. Josh Meyer, the Miner, on first, and Nick Blazer on third. All tied up at 1 run apiece between the Miners and the Chinooks. Here's the pitch. Big swing, strike 2.
Yeah, Cameron Frost has to, I don't think his timing is really right with that. It looks like he might be a little late, but Fairchild throws very hard. Just a timing thing. He's going to get that maybe in that third at-bat, figure out what he does.
1-2 pitch, big swing again for Frost, and that is strike 3 for the third out this second inning. And that is the first strikeout for Michael Fairchild. That is 2 hits, 1 run for the Miners, no errors, and 2 left on base as we head in the top of the third inning. The Miners and the Chinooks tied at 1 run apiece. You're listening to the Mat-Su Miners Radio Network.
RBI single for Josh Meyer in the bottom of the second, and we have a 1-1 game here in Palmer between the Miners and the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. I'm Austin Pollock, Emma Tiedemann, all right, as always. Stephen Pollocks to lead things off for the Chinooks. He struck out in the first against Kyle Serrano, back out there for his third inning of work, and Serrano's first pitch is swung on a hair grounder to the right side. That's the second baseman, Blazer, throws to first, 1 away. And I'll bring up James Navant, the right fielder from Notre Dame. Navant is 10 for 16 against the Miners this summer. He struck out in the first. He entered 10 for 15. First pitch from Serrano is a little low for ball 1.
The Seagulls are back also.
Yeah, these Seagulls haven't, I don't know where they come from. I didn't know Alaska really had Seagulls. 1-0 to Navant. On the outside, black, strike 1, 1-1.
Well, Anchorage is on a pretty big body of water. Do you notice that?
Yeah, a little bit. 1-1, up and away, ball 2, 2-1. 1-1 game here between the Chinooks and the Miners. Chinooks and the Miners both scored in that second inning as Navant sends the 1-1. Foul out of play, 1-2. Excuse me, it's 2-2. Serrano's 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That is strikeout number 4 for Kyle Serrano. 2 down here in the third.
Serrano has only pitched 5 pitches in the past 2 batters.
That brings up Stephen Carkenny. Flew out to left in the first. playing in his first game for the Chinooks. First pitch from Serrano. Upstairs, ball 1. Carkenny from the Masters College, 6'2", 200 pounds. Pitch from Serrano. Chopper to short. Charging is Panachone. Has it in his glove. Throws to first. A high throw. And it's in time. Nice stretch by Matt Decker at first base.
Good thing Matt Decker is tall.
Yeah, it's a 1-2-3 inning for Kyle Serrano. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on. Still 1-1. We head to the bottom of the third on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. One, 2-3 inning for Kyle Serrano. Still a 1-1 game as we enter the bottom half of inning number 3. Aaron Palmer. 2, 3, and 4. Paul Panachone, Cam Newell, and Matt Decker against Mike Fairchild. Both pitchers, Serrano and Fairchild, have been pretty solid thus far. A little bit of a shaky second inning for both pitchers. First pitch to Panachone is in there for strike 1. Paul first in the Alaska Baseball League in doubles. He entered tonight 4 for 21 versus Chugiak pitching. 0-1 to him. Low and away, ball 1, 1-1. Paul Panachone from Grand Canyon. 5'10" shortstop. 1-1 from Fairchild. Swinging a grounder to the third base side into the left field, the base hit. Paul Panachone showing he can hit this Chugiak pitching. Starts things off with a single here in the third. Fourth hit for the Miners, and here is Cam Newell. Newell grounded out to third in the first inning. Newell from UC Santa Barbara. Might be the first time that I haven't said he goes to Cal State Northridge. Goes to UC Santa Barbara. Always getting that confused. Runner on first is Panachone. Fairchild kicks and is inside. 1-0. I like these camouflage jerseys.
I do too. I like the yellow numbering on the back.
Yeah, the numbers cover from the top of the back to the lower back. Fairchild with a check on first. Panachone is back.
You can clearly see them.
Yeah, I think they're very clear. I'm going to check on that. Well, it's hard to see right now. Want to know the count on Newell. Pitch from Fairchild. Popped up, and that goes right behind us. 1-1. Pretty decent crowd here. Let's say the stands are full on the first base side. Emma, what do you get on the third base side?
Yeah, I'd say they're about 75% full.
Pretty good crowd. We usually get the attendance around the 7th, 8th inning. 1-1 the count on Newell. Has a 9-game hit streak. 8 for 13. That pitch is in the dirt. Panachone is off for second. The throw from Durr. That is going to go into right center. But Panachone will stay at second with a stolen base. Yeah, he was off with the pitch, and the throw from Durr was very offline to the right of the second base bag from our view. That's the third stolen base on the season for Panachone. 2-1. Count on Newell. Fairchild sets, kicks, fires. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 on Newell, 2-2. Well, he went chasing. Not the best pitch to swing at. Looked a little low. Panachone singled to left, then now stole second base. He's on second with nobody out. And a 2-2 count on Cam Newell. Here's the pitch from Fairchild. Swinging a fly ball out to deep right center. Stephen Pollux and James Navant. Navant makes the catch. Panachone tags for third, and he is in there. So now a runner at third with one away for Matt Decker. Decker grounded out to short in the first inning. He has a 5-game hit streak. He was 3 for 5, scored 3 runs, and had 4 RBIs in last night's game against the Waves. An 11-8 win for the Miners. First pitch to him is in the dirt and stopped by the catcher, A.J. Durr.
Yeah, when Matt Decker came into the booth last night for his Player of the Game interview, and you could just tell he felt great about that game last night. And
1-0 ripped into left center field for a base hit that'll get down and go to the wall. Panachone will score. Decker rounds first, heads for second, and he stays hot. An RBI double for Decker. Matt Decker continues just to pound the ball using all parts of the field. Today he goes to left center, right in that gap between Pollux and Carkenny. And the Miners take the lead. It's 2-1. That'll bring up Brandon Smith. He also doubled. He also scored on the single by Josh Meyer in the second inning. Smith, the left fielder tonight. We also see him at DH. First pitch is outside, ball 1. Panachone, from here, I guess we have a better view of it, just because we're looking straight away versus Panachone and Taylor, who are standing at third base. But as soon as that was off the bat of Decker, that was landing as the ground ball to the right side. Takes a tough hop for Arndt at second base, but throws to first. And there's 2 outs, but Decker moves to third. But back to what I was saying, as soon as it left the bat of Decker, that was getting down and going to the wall.
definitely.
Panachone stayed at third base for a little while as pitching coach Chris Beck makes his way out to the mound to chat with Mike Fairchild.
Yeah, that got off the bat fast and had Pollux, the center fielder, beat off. Pollux saw where the ball was going to be hit, and just that ball had a lot of power and a lot of speed behind it, and it just beat Pollux to the wall, giving Decker a great jump to get that double, and Panachone just did a light jog into home plate for the leading run.
That brings up Nick Senzel. He flew out to left in the second. Yeah, Panachone has a lot of speed, but he's also a very smart player. A lot of tools in his toolbox. Fairchild sets, and the first pitch to Senzel is very inside. It's ball 1. It's like it almost hit him. He turned out of the way, and it's a 1-0 count on Nick Senzel with a runner at third. That's up and in. 2-0. Nick Blazer is on deck. Two 2-0 the count on Senzel. Fairchild sets, kicks, delivers. Outside, 3-0. Senzel from the University of Tennessee is named a freshman All-American for the Volunteers. 3-0 from Fairchild. Here it is. Swing and a miss. 3-1. We've seen Senzel pretty much all around the infield. We've seen him at second. We've seen him at third. We've seen him at first. And he's the designated hitter tonight. 3-1. Sent out to deep right. Back goes James Navant. That is off the wall. Decker is in. Senzel heads for second. He is in there with an RBI double. It's 3-1 Miners. Second double of the inning for the Miners. Matt Decker scores the second run of the inning. And the Miners just continue to beat up on Chugiak pitching.
And you know what? I think that Senzel might have been able to make it to third.
Yeah, he might have. That ball hung up there for a long time, and I thought Navant was going to catch it in front of the wall, but it hit the upper part of the wall, right, I would say right below the scoreboard, the Amerigas sign.
Yeah, and he slowed up once he got to second because I guess he figured he was going to stop there, but I don't even think Navant had it in his glove by the time Senzel made it to second.
First pitch to Nick Blazer is low and away, ball one. Mike Fairchild sets and delivers. Called strike. 1-1. Nick Senzel has 4 stolen bases. Had one last night against the Waves. Blazer walked in the second inning. 1-1 from Fairchild. In the dirt, stopped by Durr. Senzel back to second base. Outfield is straight away. Josh Meyer on deck. 3-1 Miners, 2 outs here in the third. 2-1. Blazer sends one to right field. That'll get down for a base hit. Here comes Senzel. Blazer with a wide turn at first, but another run in. It's 4-1. RBI single for Nick Blazer. The third run has crossed home plate for the Miners in the inning.
Now batting for the Miners, your catcher.
And really, they don't like to be down. They come back. They were down 1-0 in the second. They scored a run in the second to tie it, and they've scored 3 here in the third. As Meyer sends one out to right center, that is Stephen Pollux, who was there, makes the catch for out number 3. 4 hits, 3 runs, no errors, and 1 left on as we head to the fourth on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Miners lead the Chinooks 4-1. A big 3-run inning for the Miners. They lead the Chinooks 4-1 as we start the top of the fourth in Palmer. Austin Pollock, Emma Tiedemann to my right. Jackson Kramer to lead things off for the Chinooks. And for the Miners, it was just a huge inning. Panachone started things with a single. And just big hits after big hits for the Miners. Just found those gaps. And his first pitch to Kramer is ball 1. Kyle Serrano starts his 4th inning. He's looked pretty solid through 3, 1 run and just the 1 hit. And Kramer's the one who had that big double. So he fouls one back to the screen. It's 1-1. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors, and 1 left on in the bottom of the 3rd for the Miners. Here comes the 1-1 from Serrano. On the outside part of the plate, it's strike 2, a breaking ball. And his control is just much, much better with the fastball and the breaking pitches. As here's his 1-2. As Kramer twists it foul off to the left behind the Chinooks dugout.
That's very true. Very true, Austin. We've seen, a lot of changes here in Serrano. Since we last seen him, and even since the first game he started, a lot better control and a lot more strikes have been thrown.
1-2, breaking ball is low. It's 2-2. One run, 1 hit, no errors for Chugiak. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the 5th strikeout for Kyle Serrano. There's 1 down here in the 4th. Boy, Serrano really looks good with his pitch selection as well. Josh Meyer must be calling a great game behind home plate. Kyle Serrano's season high in strikeouts is 8. He had 5 in his last start. He has 5 tonight. First pitch to Conkle is sent foul right side. Kyle Conkle reached on a fielder's choice. That was the hit. That was the ball that actually scored the first run for the Chinooks, and that pitch is high and gets the backstop. 1-1. The fielder's choice, Josh Meyer, threw the ball to third base. He's got some sort of delay here.
Oh, I think the Chinooks bat boy beat the Miners bat boy to that foul ball.
Those are the best races. 1-1, lined into right, a base hit over the glove of the leaping second baseman Nick Blazer. That's the 2nd hit for the Chinooks. But back to what I was saying, the catcher Meyer threw the ball to the third baseman Rogers, but it was a wild throw when Kramer was on the move from 2nd to 3rd on the fielder's choice for Conkle, and then Kramer scored on the error. But here is Billy Arndt. He walked in the 2nd. Runner on first is Conkle. First pitch from Serrano as it's lined foul over by Mitchell now, who is making his way to the Miners bullpen. Picks it up and throws it back. 0-1 on Billy Arndt, the infielder from Princeton. Serrano's pitch sent to the right, foul, 0-2. 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Miners. They lead the Chinooks 4-1 in the top of the 4th.
Look how far Cameron Frost is playing into right center field.
0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. 6th strikeout for Kyle Serrano. There's 2 down in the 4th. Boy, Serrano's feeling it.
Oh, definitely.
I think this is the best we've seen him all summer.
Now back to the Chinooks shortstop, Josh Altman.
He looked pretty good in that first outing against the Chinooks. Only went 3 innings, though.
He's only walked 1. He struck out 6 and has only walked 1 batter.
Yeah, this is what we're looking for in Serrano. Here's Josh Altman. He lined out to short. First time up. First pitch is a little high ball 1. That was in the 2nd inning. Kyle Conkle still on first. He singled. He was the 2nd batter of the inning. 1-0 from Serrano. Foul back. 1-1. And if that foul ball did damage to your car, visit our friends at Napa Auto Parts. Locations in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com. Get to meet the folks of Napa Auto Parts tomorrow. It's Napa Day at the park. 1-1. Called strike, 1-2. And Serrano just 1 strike away from striking out the side. Looking, gets the signs from Meyer. Sets. Kicks. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Kyle Serrano strikes out the side. That's the 7th strikeout for the right-hander from Tennessee. And it's no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on for the Chinooks. We head to the bottom half of the 4th. 4-1 Miners on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Kyle Serrano strikes out the side in the top half of the 4th inning, and the Miners try to add on more. They lead the Chinooks 4-1. Aaron Palmer, Austin Pollock with Emma Tiedemann to my right. Kyle Serrano absolutely feeling it in this game. As Jordan Rogers steps in. He's 0 for 1. He flew out to center. First pitch is fouled back, and the new pitcher is Shane Armstrong. We have seen Armstrong got the start the last game between these two at Herman Brothers. Rogers sends one foul again right side. Armstrong from Hillsdale College, 0-1 with a 7.71 earned run average. He started 1 game. He's appeared in 6. 16 and a third inning, 17 hits, 14 walks, and 14 strikeouts as the 0-2 to Rogers was low and away for ball 1. Against the Miners on the 16th, an inning and a third, 6 hits, 10 earned runs, 6 walks, and 1 strikeout. Rogers sends one into center field for a base hit. First hit of the inning for the Miners as Rogers is on first. He was hitless in 4 at-bats against the Waves last night.
Miners center fielder Cameron Frost.
That'll bring up Cameron Frost, the center fielder from Washington State. He's 1 for 2, a strikeout in the second, a single in the first. Rogers on first. Pitch from Armstrong up and in at his head. It's ball 1. Armstrong, runner at first is off. The throw from Durr is high. The tag, he's out. Rogers gunned down, trying to swipe second base, and that's a big out for the Chinooks and Shane Armstrong, especially with a big bat and Cameron Frost at the plate. You don't want to, if you're a pitcher, you don't want a runner in scoring position with Cameron Frost at the plate. 1 away. Frost swing and a miss, 2-1. Seen Frost swing and miss at a lot of pitches thus far already.
Yeah, we're kind of noticing that the past 2 games against the Waves and the Pilots.
2-1. Frost fouls it right back. 2-2. 2-2, Paul Panachone on deck. Here's a pitch to Frost. Grounder to the left side. That's the third baseman, Rourke. Throws across the diamond to first, and there's 2 away. Paul Panachone coming to the plate. He's 1 for 2. He singled in the third, stole second base.
To the minors, your shortstop, Paul Panachone.
And then advanced to third on the fly out for Cam Newell. Then he scored on the double by Decker. First pitch from Armstrong is low and away, ball 1. One and 0 pitch from Armstrong. Called strike at the letters, 1-1. Cam Newell on deck. 1-1. Low and away, 2-1.
Panachone was the leadoff batter in the third inning as last at bat, had that single and scored a run. Another
1-1, up and in, 2-1.
Another situation with the Miners leadoff batter that's reached base, scores a run.
Excuse me, it's 3-1. 3-1. Swinging a roller foul right behind home plate. 3-2, full count on Paul Panachone. Shane Armstrong, we have seen him struggle against the Miners. He's faced them 3 times. Looks much better here. Panachone with a chopper to the third base side, and they'll say it's foul. Armstrong also pitched in 2 games in the preseason series on the 11th. That was the game the Chinooks won. The only win for the Chinooks against the Miners this summer. He went 2 innings, gave up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout. He was even better on opening day. 2 innings, a hit, no runs, no walks, and 3 strikeouts, but the 16th got the loss. That was here in Palmer. That is called strike 3. First strikeout for Shane Armstrong. It ends up being a 1-2-3 inning for the right-hander from Hillsdale College. It's still 4-1 Miners, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on. 4-1 Miners, we head to the 5th on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Miners lead 4-1 over the Chinooks as we head to the top of the 5th inning. I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock. And starting things off for the Chinooks, Griffith Rourke, the third baseman. Kyle Serrano still on the mound for the Miners. First pitch, foul back. Strike 1. And Griffith Rourke had a fly out to right field to Cam Newell in the 2nd inning, which was his last at bat. Here's the 0-1 pitch by Serrano. Low, ball 1. Serrano with 7 strikeouts, given up 1 run, 2 hits so far through 4 innings.
He's looked really, really good.
Outside, ball 2.
This may be the best we've seen him.
I think it is the best.
If it's not the best, it's certainly one of the best.
2-1 pitch. In there for strike 2. Got that inside corner. Kyle Serrano just looking very comfortable up there. And also, you mentioned earlier, Josh Meyer calling a great game as the catcher. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on And that'll go right over the infield into left center field. And Rourke rounds first, heads into second. Here's the throw by Smith. And it won't get there in time as Rourke slides into second for the double. So great ball placement there by Griffith Rourke. Just right over the infield into that left center field gap between Smith and Frost. Able to start things off for the Chinooks with that double, leadoff double, bringing up A.J. Durr, the catcher. His last at bat in the second inning, he was struck out, the third strikeout for Kyle Serrano. Still hitless this summer, shows bunt, takes the ball instead a little bit high for Serrano, ball one.
A lot of small ball for the Chinooks here. They're really just trying to move those runners along with the bunt. Certainly one way to do it.
1-0 pitch, shows bunt again, pulls back, and that's strike one.
Yeah, Rourke had a big lead actually off of second base there. Thought maybe he was going to take off with the pitch.
1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Here's the pitch, shows bunt, fouls it way back, this time into the stands.
I think we've talked about this before, that the Chinooks just try to play this small ball, but they can't get the bunt down. But then when we talk about when the Miners do it, they get that bunt down.
That's right, the Chinooks, they keep fouling it back or pulling their bat out of the way of the pitch. They can't keep anything fair when it comes to bunting. As Durr swings on that one and fouls it back first base side behind us.
Pretty quick game as well. We're in the top of the 5th, and it's just after 8:15 here in Alaska. It's quite overcast as well. Still a good night for a game.
Not a lot of wind either. 1-2 pitch. Swung on right back to Serrano on the mound. Serrano throws back to second to Panachone, and Rourke is stuck in the middle. Back to Rogers, third baseman, tags him out within the middle of the base path between second and third. And that's going to be a fielder's choice. We'll call that a 1-6-7 fielder's choice.
Not one you hear all the time.
No. But A.J. Durr is able to reach base. But the runner at second, Griffith Rourke, is tagged out. So that kind of eases everyone's mind with the run situation. That brings us back to the top of the order to Stephen Pollux. Pollux 0 for 2 tonight as he fouls the first pitch back. Pollux playing in center field. Had a strikeout in the first inning, then had a ground out in the third. 0-1 pitch. Big swing, strike 2.
Talking with the Chugiak broadcast team before the game, Stephen Pollux had a home run yesterday, but that game was actually called due to rain in the third, and they're going to make it up. It's part of a doubleheader on Thursday. Pollux entered tonight with 2 home runs, but I guess maybe call it 2.5. I don't know. That's tough. It doesn't count technically, but
pitch in there, a little inside for ball 2. Yeah, that's a tough way to go. You hit a home run and then having to have that not count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Here's a pitch. Big swing. Strike 3. And that is now 2 away for the Miners. So it brings up James Navant. That is the 8th strikeout for Kyle Serrano. I believe that ties his career high.
that does. 8.
James Navant 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and has a big swing against that pitch by Kyle Serrano. Misses, and that's strike 1.
It was a great pitching performance for Serrano.
0-1 pitch. And there for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs now for James Navant and the Chinooks. A.J. Durr, the catcher, still on first base. Here's the 0-2 pitch. High over the head of Meyer. A.J. Durr goes to second, rounds it, but decides to hold up at second base. That's the second pitch we've seen that has gone clear over the head of Meyer. And A.J. Durr able to advance on the wild pitch.
There's also some action in the Miners bullpen. Serrano, although he's pitched very well, getting up there in the pitch count, and I think it's Ryan Oglesby.
That looks like his pitching
That's
moment style. Is that pitching
Yeah.
style? 1-2 pitch in the dirt, ball 2.
That's how I figured it out. It's hard to see there are numbers on the sides, like on the lower. What's it? Yes, the lower right part of the jersey, but still hard to see.
2-2 pitch by Serrano. Swung on. Ground ball into right field. And Durr rounds third. Actually decides to hold up. Great throw in by Newell, the right fielder, to cut off that run. And now we have runners on the corners. James Navant at first and A.J. Durr at third. Brings up Stephen Carkinney. Still hitless. This is his first game this summer with the Chinooks. He had a fly out to left field in the first inning, then grounded out to the shortstop Panachone in the third. And he is the tying run for the Chinooks. Miners lead 4-1 at the top of this fifth. First pitch by Serrano, low and outside, ball 1.
This is a time for Serranos to take a deep breath and calm down and get this big out right here, as Emma said. That tying run at the plate.
High ball 2 by Serrano. And he has been in this situation before. Back in the second inning, he had runners on second and third, but then had 3 outs directly after that, that third out being a strikeout. So in this game alone, he's proved to be pretty calm under pressure in this situation. But now he's down in the count, 3 balls, no strikes. Top of this fifth inning, Stephen Carkinney at the plate. Durr at third. Here's the pitch, and that is ball 4. 4-pitch walk to put the bases, to put Carkinney at first, and now the bases are loaded. And Brad Baker, the pitching coach for the Matsu Miners, is going to head out to the mound to talk things over with his pitcher, Kyle Serrano. The tying run now at first base for the Chinooks. The leading run is at the plate. And Jackson Kramer, the designated hitter. Kramer already has a double tonight in the second inning and was struck out in the fourth. That is A.J. Durr at third base, James Navant at second, and Stephen Carkinney at first. A.J. Durr reached base on a fielder's choice, went to second off the wild pitch, now at third base off the single by James Navant, and now Stephen Carkinney was just walked to reach first. Jackson Kramer hitting .314 on the season. Here's the first pitch, high and inside, ball 1. Kramer with 9 RBIs and 4 doubles. He had a very powerful ball in the second inning for his double, so he has the power. High and outside, ball 2 by Serrano.
I actually was looking down at the Miners bullpen because Nick Blazer actually at one point looked over in the bullpen, and someone just raced over to answer the phone. It's kind of like a little kid on Christmas morning.
2-0 pitch is very outside for ball 3. Now 3-0 again for Kyle.
I think those bullpen phones are new this summer. At least for the Miners. I don't know if the Chinooks have one.
3-0 pitch, and there for strike 1 for Serrano.
Yeah, this has been a little bit of a problem for Serrano with the bases loaded in his control.
Here's a 3-1 pitch. And that is ball 4, and he will walk in a run as A.J. Durr crossing home plate. James Navant will move to third, Stephen Carkinney to second, and Jackson Kramer to first. 2 walks in a row now.
That's going to bring head coach Ben Taylor out of the dugout. We'll have to see if they make a move, and I think they will. It looks like Ryan Oglesby is making his way in. And it's now very clear that he is. So the night is done for Kyle Serrano. But, hey, he pitched very well. He really did.
Yes, definitely. You know, he's only given up now 2 runs and 3 hits. Yeah, about 3 hits. A great performance by Kyle Serrano, especially looking back at his first couple of appearances. He's really come a long way.
And we'll come right back and have some information on the new pitcher when we return on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Ryan Oglesby on the mound for the Miners. Kyle Serrano's night is done, and it was a great performance for Serrano. But Oglesby takes over in the top of the 5th inning for the Miners. And his first pitch hits Kyle Conkle, and that is another run walked in by the Miners, making it a 4-3 game. The Miners still ahead of the Chinooks, but now only by 1 run, and that tying run is at 3rd, leading run at 2nd, and just the cherry on top is at 1st and at home plate.
Yeah, that kind of just came out of nowhere. I didn't expect that first pitch to hit him.
The next pitch is a strike to Billy Arndt, the second baseman.
And it's kind of just like that. I mean, they start the inning with the Miners up 4-1 after a big 3rd inning for them. Now the tying run is just 90 feet away.
High fly ball deep into right field. Going back for it is Newell. And Newell able to catch the 3rd out for the game. That was two runs have scored with 2 hits, no errors, and 3 left on base. As we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, the Miners still lead the Miners. The Miners lead the Chinooks 4-3. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Cam Newell ready to start things off for the Miners in the bottom of this 5th inning. Chinooks score 2 runs in the top of the 5th inning. And we have a 1-run game between the Miners and the Chinooks. Miners up 4-3. First pitch to Newell, high fly ball to shallow right field. Charging is Navant. Makes the catch, and that is 1 away for the Chinooks. Brings up Matt Decker, who had a double at his last at-bat in the 3rd inning, grounded out in the 1st. Decker had a big night last night, hitting a home run, a single, a double, scoring 3 runs and 4 RBIs. First pitch, big swing by Decker, strike one. Decker takes a deep breath, steps into the batter's box. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on deep into left center field. Going back for it is Pollux, the center fielder. And that is now 2 away for the Chinooks. Only had 3 pitches by Fairchild, the pitcher for the Chinooks. And that's already 2 batters away. That's actually Shane Armstrong on the mound. Armstrong came in the last inning. Brings up Brandon Smith, the left fielder for the Miners. Had a double and scored a run in the second, then had a ground out in the third. First pitch to Smith in there for strike one.
This is like a new Shane Armstrong for the Chinooks. Pitching very well. Much better than last time he faced the Miners.
A little bit lone outside, ball one. Smith 255 on the season with 6 RBIs and 2 doubles. Shows bunt, and that is going to be called a strike. Looks like Smith came around a little bit on that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs now. Here's the pitch by Armstrong. Foul tip. One ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Here's the pitch. A little bit high for for ball 2. Like a breaking ball, a little bit high.
Yeah, that was a good slider from Armstrong.
Swung on, and it's hit deep into right field. Navant going back for it, makes the catch, and it is 3 up, 3 down for the Chinooks. And a great outing for the pitcher, Shane Armstrong. As we head to the top of the 6th, the Miners lead 4-3 over the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Three up, 3 down for the Miners in the bottom half of the 5th. They still lead at 4-3. Ryan Oglesby is back out there for the start of the 6th. Josh Altman to lead things off against Oglesby. Altman is 0 for 2. First pitch from Oglesby is a called strike on the outside part of the plate. Oglesby hit Kyle Conkle. He was the first batter that Oglesby faced as Altman fouls one back, 0-2. And then got Billy Arndt to fly out to the right fielder, Cam Newell. Pitch is away outside, 1-2 to Altman. He lined out to the shortstop Panachone in the 2nd, and he struck out in the 4th. Line is final on Kyle Serrano. Here's the 1-2. Slapped foul to the right over by the tunnel, 1-2 still. Serrano 4 2/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts. I have another interesting stat in just a second. Here comes the 1-2 from Oglesby. Breaking ball lifted to the right. Matt Decker gives chase, makes the catch over his shoulder. Nice play by the first baseman, Decker, usually a catcher. One down in the top of the 6th. And that'll bring up Griffith Rourke. He is 1 for 2. He doubled in the 5th. Every batter in the Miners lineup has at least one hit, except for Cam Newell. First pitch, shows bunt, drops it down, but foul. Oglesby was quick off the mound.
That is interesting.
I actually said has at least one hit. Everybody other than Newell has exactly one hit.
Right. Not a bad night for Miners hitters.
8 hits. 4 runs. 0-1 the count on Rourke. Here's the pitch from Oglesby, outside 1-1. Ryan Oglesby from Slippery Rock in Pennsylvania. 1-1. In tight, 2-1.
Slippery Rock's motto is a rock-solid education.
I think that's very clever.
I think that's awesome.
I don't really know what Syracuse's motto is. 2-1. Inside, 3-1. Does Mizzou have a motto that's well known?
Yeah. Well, it's just one Mizzou.
All right,
because, yeah, there's only one Mizzou.
3-1, called strike on the inside part of the plate, 3-2. Oglesby last pitched on the 22nd. That was Sunday against the Pilots, won an inning. Scoreless baseball, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And that pitch is low, ball 4. So Rourke is on for the 2nd time. And that brings up A.J. Durr, the catcher. He reached on a 165 fielder's choice in the 5th. He also scored. First pitch is a little outside. It's ball 1. Durr 0 for 2 with a run scored. Griffith Rourke is the runner at first base. 1-0. Chopper back to the mound. Oglesby just throws right to first. Rourke up to second. There's 1 away on the 1-3 putout. Excuse me, 2 away.
Now batting for the Chinooks, center fielder Stephen Pollux.
Back to the top of the order for Stephen Pollux. Pollux is 0 for 3. He entered with a 9-game hitting streak. And that's almost in jeopardy. Oglesby steps off, keeping a close eye on Rourke, the runner at second base.
Rourke at second is the tying run for the Chinooks, and the leading run is at the plate.
1-0, called strike on the outside part of the plate, 1-1 on Stephen Pollux. Bats from the left side. Wiggles to bat. 1-1 outside, 2-1.
Smells like nachos. Do you smell that?
No.
Ah.
No stolen bases on the season for Rourke as Pollux sends one to the right side foul over by the first base coaching box. 2-2. How can you smell that?
Well, we have the window open. Usually it smells like hot dogs, but...
I know, but you've been a little stuffed up for the last couple days.
Yes, if you cannot hear already, I'm a little congested. But for some reason, I think someone has nachos below the press box.
2-2 as Pollux sends it foul left side. Still 2-2. Yeah, yesterday was not a very good day. You were under the weather. I was under the weather.
Today I'm still a little under the weather, and I don't think my decongestant has kicked in, even though I took one about 2 hours ago.
I'm doing just great today.
Yeah, you're doing fine and dandy over there.
2-2, slap foul again left side. Still 2-2.
I have my bag of cough drops, all my little goodies over here.
But, you know, the viewers don't really know this, but the Miners, Ben Taylor, they have their own little motto that's OTG.
Yes.
And I want you to tell the people what that stands for.
On the grind.
On the grind. 2-2 outside, 3-2. So it's the front. They have these white T-shirts, and the front say MSM, Matsu Miners, and the back say OTG, on the grind. We're all on the grind here. You're not feeling well, you still come out.
There's no sick days in broadcasting.
3-2 as Pollux fouls it behind home plate, stays alive.
10 pitches now.
I got 8.
8? Oh.
We've got 8.
8 or 10 pitches.
Go 9? I think it's 8, though. 3-2. Pollock stays alive, fouls it off to left. Brandon Smith, the left fielder, giving chase, but it is foul. Pollock's a little guy, though. Top of that order. He's 5'11", from Westmont College. He's got a little bit of power in him. 2.5 home runs. That half came yesterday. It was a home run, but that game was called, and they're going to restart it. Oglesby looks for the sign from the catcher, Myers. Sets. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That is the first strikeout for Ryan Oglesby. He wins the battle against Stephen Pollux, and the Miners still lead 4-3 as we head to the bottom half of the 6th on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Shane Armstrong is back out there. He's been good. 1 hit in 2 innings. Ryan Oglesby won a big battle against Stephen Pollux for his first strikeout. It was out number 3 of the inning.
Now batting for your Miners makes a noise for the designated hitter, Nick Senzel.
As Nick Senzel will lead things off for the Miners in the bottom of the 6th against Armstrong. Miners lead the Chinooks 4-3. First pitch to Senzel is inside, ball 1. Senzel is 1 for 2. He doubled in the 3rd inning and flew out to left in the 2nd as he swings and misses for strike 1, 1-1. One and one. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss again. 1-2. More action in that Miners bullpen. It's a left-hander. That's Hunter Rodriguez. 1-2. Check swing. It's foul. Batboy goes and gets that one.
Well, that's all Rodriguez against the Pilots, right?
I think so.
Double check that. I know it was at Mulcahy.
There are 2 straight games there. 1-2. Ramped into left field. That will get down. Right in front of the left fielder, Steven Carkenny. It's a leadoff single for Nick Senzel, and perhaps he's starting to feel things. He's now 2 for 3, his 2nd hit. That brings up Nick Blazer.
That was the last time we saw Rodriguez.
Now batting for your Miners makes a noise for second baseman.
Blazer is 1 for 1. An RBI single in the 3rd. There's a new PA voice here at Herman Brothers. Wolfgang Winter feeling a little under the weather. If he's listening, we hope he gets well soon. First pitch is a strike to Blazer. It's strike 1, 0-1. It's just like everyone seems to be a little under the weather.
Yeah, it might be maybe the allergies or something that's going around.
0-1 to Blazer. Lifted out to right center. Coming in is Navant. He makes the catch for the first out. Senzel back to first base. Maybe it's that white stuff that just flies around in the air. No, it's not snow. It doesn't always snow here in Alaska.
I think it's cottonwood.
Cottonwood.
Yeah.
That could be it.
Now betting for your minors.
See, I was feeling more like a stomach ache and a headache than anything else. You're just
Congested.
a mess. Yeah, congested. Feel better, Emma.
Thanks, Austin.
Here's Josh Meyer. First pitch is low ball 1. Meyer is 1 for 2, an RBI single. That was in the second inning. First time he's facing Shane Armstrong of the game. Armstrong with a check on Senzel at first. He's back. Time to start thinking about that player of the game. Tweet at us at ABL Miners. Send us an email, matsuminersbroadcast@gmail.com, or comment below in the comments section of the video player. Senzel is off. Ground ball to the left side. That's the third baseman, Rourke. He looks at second, throws to first for out number 2. I'll bring up Jordan Rogers, 1 for 2.
Now batting for the minors, third baseman Jordan Rogers.
Rogers batting from the right side against Armstrong. First pitch. Back up the middle, a base hit. Ben Taylor will send Nick Senzel. The throw in, the throw down to the plate, the tag, and Senzel is safe. Rogers into second base. And boy, Senzel took a tumble at home plate, and I thought he was out. That was a great throw. The throw came in from Pollux, the center fielder. And then Billy Arndt cut it off at the second base bag and then threw to A.J. Durr, the catcher. And I thought they had him, but it's now 5-3 Miners.
Yeah, that was just great kind of concentration for Senzel to focus in on that plate, even with the throw coming in from the second baseman into Durr. And I thought he might have had beat the, I thought he didn't beat the throw either, but apparently he did. And Jordan Rogers able to make it to second.
First pitch, a slider inside to Frost, and he's down to the count 0-1.
Rogers able to make it to second, which usually that play probably would have, for Rogers, been just a single, turn it into a double.
0-1 to Frost. Back to the mound, a little dribbler, and Armstrong has it, throws to first. And that our entire side. The Miners get one on a RBI double by Jordan Rogers. They lead it 5-3. It's 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. We head to the 7th on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. RBI double for Jordan Rogers in the bottom of the sixth. It's a 5-3 lead for the Miners. New pitcher on is Hunter Rodriguez, lefty from the University of Utah. He will face 2, 3, and 4, James Navant, Stephen Carkenny, and Jackson Kramer. Rodriguez 1-0, the 1.17 earned run average. His first pitch to Navant is in there for a called strike. He's appeared in 6 games. He struck out 10 in 7 2/3 and last pitched on Sunday against the Pilots. Rodriguez sets. Here's his 0-1. That's low in the dirt, 1-1. Went 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Second time he is facing the Chinooks. Got the win on June 9th. 1-1, grounder to the right side. Decker slides but can't make a play. It'll go into right and foul territory. James Navant rounds first, and he is into second with a leadoff double.
Decker made that diving play, but just not able to get there in time and put his glove over the ball.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a tough play, and it looks like Ben Taylor is out to talk with the home plate umpire. I think he thinks it went foul. Miners meet around the mound, and it looks like the home plate umpire might discuss this with the field umpire. Ben Taylor kind of hanging around with a slow walk toward the Miners' dugout, but he stands on the first base side just to the right of the foul line. But Navant is on second with a double. We'll have to see if they bring him back. I think that's what Ben Taylor's arguing.
Oh, yeah, definitely, because I was wondering about that, too. I don't know. I couldn't tell where it exactly bounced after it got past first base. And that'll stand as a fair ball.
And no further argument from BT.
That's just a kind of a tough play, tough angle to call for that field umpire with Decker diving for it. But I think it was fair.
Yeah, I would agree. I thought the other thing he could have argued maybe was that Navant didn't touch first when he was rounding, but looked to me like he did. Rodriguez sets as he faces Stephen Carkenny, the left fielder, and the first pitch is fouled back right at us. Carkenny 0 for 2 in his Chinooks debut. Been on base once. He walked. He flew out to left in the first, grounded out to short in the third. Carkenny from the Masters College. 0-1 inside, 1-1. Get those player of the game votes in. Tweet at us at ABL Miners, or follow us if you don't follow us already. One and one. The count here is the pitch from Rodriguez. That's low and in. 2-1. And we've done very well with that Twitter account.
I'd say so.
Miners actually didn't have a Twitter account coming into the season. So give us a follow.
Throwback Thursday's coming up.
It is. 2-1, lifted out to deep right. Going back is Newell making his way toward the line, and then that will drop foul in front of him. Second baseman Blazer and the first baseman Decker were also out there, but nobody can come up with it. It's a 2-2 count. Last week's Throwback Thursday was a little picture of, I think it was Johnny Loker.
It was Loker.
In his Little League days. Parents, if you're listening and you want to send us a picture, nothing too embarrassing, of your player when he was younger, playing Little League or maybe even younger, we would appreciate that. Email us at matsumeyersbroadcast@gmail.com. It's the 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, first strikeout for Hunter Rodriguez, and there's one down here in the top of the 7th. I think I said that email a little quickly. It's matsuminersbroadcast@gmail.com. There's no dash in Matsu. It's all one word. We would appreciate those. You can even send more than one. We'll turn it into a little collage.
Oh, yes.
That's what we did for Hunter Simmons. He enjoyed it. He got a laugh out of it. Here's Jackson Kramer. 1 for 2, a run scored, an RBI. First pitch is in there for a called strike. Lefty on lefty, a runner on second base. It's Navant. He led it off with a double. 0-1. And there, a called strike again, 0-2.
Hunter Rodriguez is just doing so much better than his last time out against the Pilots. Looks so much more kind of calm up there, a lot more confident. Now throwing more strikes.
0-2 the count on Kramer. Here it is. In the dirt, 1-2. I wish we could take a picture of the corner over by Emma's on Emma's side of the booth.
It's a little pharmacy.
1-2. Breaking ball, and it's called strike 3 to Kramer. Back-to-back Ks for Hunter Rodriguez, 2 down in the 7th. What do you got over there? You got cough drops, nasal decongestant, and what's the other one?
That's a thing of ibuprofen.
Ibuprofen. And you got a bottle of water.
My Smart Water.
Smart water.
Yeah.
You know, they say one of the best things to do when you're sick or have a cold is drink water.
Oh, yes. I agree. I think, if it helps. Stay hydrated.
Here's Kyle Conkle. He's 1 for 2. First pitch is in there for a strike. Hunter Rodriguez has calmed down a lot since that leadoff double to James Navant. More action in the Miners bullpen. That might be Hayden Howard or Jonathan Reed. I don't really know. That's a tough one right there.
That looks like Howard.
We're going to check on the runner at first. Excuse me, at second, it's Navant. He's back safely. A pickoff attempts at second base, something that scares me a lot. Because it's such a quick movement. I always feel like the pitcher's going to throw it into center field. 0-1 from Rodriguez. And there, call a strike, 0-2. 0-2, 2 outs. Miners lead the Chinooks 5-3. Tying run at the plate in Conkle. Runner on second is James Navant. 0-2 the count on Conkle. Rodriguez sets, kicks, fires. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Hunter Rodriguez strikes out the side. And boy, he looked very good out there in that inning, despite giving up that leadoff double to James Navant. It's still 5-3 Miners. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on as we head to the bottom of the seventh inning stretch time at Herman Brothers on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
All right, folks, it's that time. It's the middle of the 7th inning. Time to stand up and stretch out and sing the words to that famous song that you all know and love. Here we go.
Let's get some runs.
All right, nice job, folks.
on for the Chinooks. It is the right-hander Lance Phillips. He will face Nick Blazer.
Now batting for the Miners, shortstop Paul.
Josh Meyer and Jordan Rogers. Blazer stands in. He's 1 for 3 with a run scored. First pitch shows bunt. It's called strike. Lance Phillips, right-hander from the University of Arkansas, 1-0, the 2.38 earned run average. He's appeared in 5 games. Another strike to Blazer, 0-2. 11 strikeouts in 11 1/3 innings pitched. Last time he faced the Miners, that was June 16th. Went 4 2/3 innings in relief of Shane Armstrong. One and 2 the count. Low and away. 2-2. Was I saying that the batter was Blazer?
Yes, you did.
All right, I'm completely wrong, folks. It's Paul Panachone.
You had me worried that my scorebook was wrong.
No, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. All wrong. 2-2, low and in, 3-2. Panachone is 1 for 3 with a run scored. I still got that right. C sends one out to right, shallow right, Conco going out, Navant coming in. It is Navant who makes a sliding catch. So Panachone is retired. That'll bring up Cam Newell, who is 0 for 3. His 9-game hit streak is on the line here.
Noise for your right fielder, Cam Newell.
The Miners can have a rally in the Valley, even though they're up 5-3. Newell might get one more shot. Here against Lance Phillips. Shows bunt. It's inside, ball 1. Phillips, as I said, pitched on the 16th here at Herman Brothers against the Miners. 4 2/3. 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. Newell fouls one right back. 1-1. He last pitched on the 20th against the Pilots, an inning. No hits, no runs, 1 walk, 1 K. The Chinooks are 1 4 in games that Phillips pitches in. 1-1 to Newell, outside, 2-1. I think I have an idea of who my player of the game is. It's only the bottom of the 7th, so you still have time to vote. Tweet at us at ABL Miners. Send us an email, matsuminersbroadcast@gmail.com. Pitch on the outside part of the plate, 2-2. It's a strike on Newell. Or you can comment on in the comments section on the live player. I don't think we've received any yet. I'm gonna check right now. Newell slaps one to the left side, foul.
I think I have an idea for player of the game, but it is still early.
This is usually when Emma and I write on our scorebook, and
Yes, we have the
all
same
right,
one
we
again.
agree.
Yeah.
Sent out to deep right. Going back is James Navant at the wall. He will watch it go. Solo home run for Cam Newell, number 3 on the season. The hit streak improves to 10. It's now a 6-3 Miners lead. Boy, Cam Newell not known for his power, but he sent that one out. He even said to us that he doesn't really, this is something new for him. He got a great jump on that pitch. Sends it over the right center field wall, just over the subway sign for home run number 3.
Now batting for the Miners, first baseman Matt Decker.
It's an insurance run right there. It's 6-3 Miners. That brings up Matt Decker. Oh, we just got some baby pictures.
Oh, yes. Little baby Jordan Rogers.
Oh, that's going to be fun. 0-1 the count on Matt Decker.
That'll be a collage for sure.
Way outside. 1-1. We got a message from Jordan's parents the other day. I know his mother, I think, was tweeting that they're making a trip up here soon. 1-1 to Decker. Popped up on foul territory. Kyle Conkle and A.J. Durr. And it's A.J. Durr makes the catch in front of the Miners dugout for out number 2. Excuse me, that is out number 2.
Yes.
Well, I was just confused because Stephen Pollux and James Navon is practically on the infield.
Whoa, yeah.
Everyone was in, and I think they thought that was the third out. Guess they forgot about the home run to Newell. So here is Brandon Smith. He is 1 for 3, a run scored. Lance Phillips sets. Here's his pitch. That is a little high. 1-0. You know, something is not right either with my glasses or with my eyesight. I'll explain that in a second. 1-0 as Smith fouls one right behind us. And that is because I had trouble with the Decker home run yesterday.
Right.
I had a little trouble with the Newell home run there.
Yeah, I did too. I think it's the white signs
Yeah, you know
out
what?
in the outfield.
That is it.
Because the depth perception is a little off. Because I'm having that same problem. I thought that was going to hit the wall. But the Newell home run and the Decker one. The Decker one both got us.
I've had a hard time with balls hit to right field where I think there's more signs that are white. 1-2 is way outside to Smith. It's 2-2. It's pretty much that right center field part between the Kendall sign that's yellow and then the Subway sign that's green.
Yeah.
And then the Alaska USA that's blue. Pitch is low. It's now 3-2 to Brandon Smith. I think that's it. I think that's the problem.
I think so too. Those white signs.
3-2, low and in. It's ball 4 to Brandon Smith. Second time he's been on, and here's Nick Senzel. He's had a good day. He's 2 for 3. Double and a single. He scored twice.
Player of the game nomination,
Certainly.
perhaps.
As for Jordan Rogers. It's the Tennessee guys tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
Serrano, a great night on the mound. Senzel, a good day at the plate. And Rogers, a good day at the plate. First pitch to Senzel is high, 1-0. I don't know if we're really allowed to do 3 player of the games.
Yeah, like a 3-way tie.
Or if we can just call it the Tennessee player. Well, that doesn't work either. Check on Smith. He is back. It's getting a little dark here at Herman Brothers.
Yeah, the clouds are coming in and over the mountains, and it's definitely cooling off. The wind is picking up a little bit out in the outfield.
1-0. Check on Smith. It's close, but he's back. You have to look at these baby pictures of Jordan Rogers in between innings. Breaking ball is low. Oh, these are good. 2-0 the count. Here's the pitch. It's inside. 3-0.
Oh, these are really cute. Oh, he was on the Rangers. It's my team.
Typical comment from Emma right there. Runner on first. It's Smith. He walked. Pitch to Senzel. That's called strike. 3-1. Yeah, be sure to check that out on Thursday morning. I guess it'll be Thursday afternoon for most people in the lower 48. I'll be up. I've got class. 3-1, runner at first is off. Senzel with a high fly ball out to deep left. Looking up is Carkenny. Goodbye. 2-run home run for Nick Senzel. Miners add 2 more. It's 8-3. First home run of the season for Senzel. He got all of that. Carkenny just turned and watched it go.
That just flew off the bat. You could tell just the way he hit it. It was out of here.
Yeah, Senzel was in a little bit of a slump entering tonight's game, but he's turned that around. He's now 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs and 3 runs scored. He's feeling it. Everybody's feeling it tonight.
He's now a triple shy of hitting the cycle.
You know, we've heard that. We've just heard that so many times. Someone is just a triple shy of that cycle. And here is Nick Blazer. I thought he started the inning, but he's up now. First pitch is a slider outside, 1-0. A little low, 2-0. Three runs on 2 hits in the inning. 1-0 pitch to Blazer. High fly ball out to deep center. Going back is Pollux. He is under it and makes the catch. And that'll end the inning. 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors, nobody left on. A solo home run for Cam Newell, a 2-run home run for Nick Senzel. The Miners lead it 8-3 as we head to the 8th on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Top of the 8th inning, and we have a new pitcher on the mound for the Miners. That is the Texas A&M Aggie, Hayden Howard. Howard starting things off, pitching to Billy Arndt, the second baseman. First pitch in there for a strike. Second pitch a little low for ball 1.
Howard has appeared in 4 games, 0.96 ERA, 14 strikeouts, and 9 1/3 innings.
Third pitch gets away from Meyer, oh my gosh. Gets away from Meyer, the catcher. 2 balls, 1 strike. Billy Arndt 0 for 2, was walked in the second. Struck out in the 4th, had a fly out in the 5th. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Howard last pitched on the 22nd. That was against the Pilots.
Swung on up into shallow center field, and that's a base hit. Start things off for the Chinooks in this 8th inning.
An inning, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. That was for Howard on the 22nd against the Pilots, and he also pitched the 21st. That was Saturday against the Bucks. An inning and a third of scoreless, hitless baseball. Struck out 2.
Brings up Josh Altman. Shortstop, 0 for 3. Hitting .192 on the season with 2 RBIs. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Arndt with a lead off of first.
Arndt has 1 stolen base.
Throw back to first. Arndt safe. Altman, the right-handed batter.
Looks like there might be more action in the Miners bullpen, or just people kind of hanging around out there. Staying warm. I think it's a little chilly out there.
1-0 pitch, high and inside, ball 2.
Looks like some early command struggles for Hayden Howard. A little unusual.
2-0 pitch, swung on, foul back behind us. That'll be strike 1.
You know, that broken glass sound effect gets me every time.
Yeah, it's very realistic. Sometimes it's not. It doesn't sound like the real thing, but that usually does. 2-1 pitch inside. Well, that's called a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And I know that when I was here for like the 2.5 weeks before you got here, I used to park the car right behind the press box.
Oh, right. 2-2 pitch swung on. Another foul ball.
And whenever we come here, if it's not a game, if we come here, if we have to get some stuff, whatever it is, we just park the car right behind the press box because that's where the
Right.
stairs are. So I always think now that we have a broken windshield.
Well, then you take it to Napa Auto Parts.
That almost broke everything in here. That foul ball right there, right back at us.
We'll be the visiting broadcasters. The
No,
Chinooks.
that's not cool. They're great guys.
They are. They're very helpful. Very, very helpful. We've gotten to know that because the Chinooks and the Miners,
Have played each other so many times.
yeah. 2-2 pitch swung on right back to Hayden Howard. Bounces off the mound. And Panachone able to catch it. Puts his foot on second for 1 out. Throws it to first to Decker for 2 outs. And that was probably one of the most unusual double plays I've ever seen.
You know, it scored as a 1-6-3 double play, but I really don't know if Howard even touched the ball. I think his glove got a piece of it, and if that's the case, that does count. He gets a part of that. So that is a 1-6-3 double play.
So that is now 2 outs for the Miners. That brings up Griffith Rourke, the third baseman. 1 for 2 tonight. First pitch by Howard inside for strike 1. And it's in there again for strike 2.
That was a very bizarre play.
Yeah, it went off. It had a hop off of the mound. Panachone just there in time to catch it. That's a ground ball to second baseman Nick Blazer. Blazer to Decker, the first baseman. And that is the third out for the inning with a 4-3 putout. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, nobody left on as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. You are listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Ready for that winning
Leading things off for the Miners in the bottom of this 8th inning, it is Josh Meyer, the Miner.
Not Minor the Minor.
Yeah, nope.
thanks to the Frontier
By the end of the summer, I will get that right.
Association night.
Meyer is 1 for 3 tonight. Had a single in the second, had a fly out in the third, and a ground out in the 6th.
Also a new pitcher.
That is a foul ball.
Oh, we're gonna have to talk to Josh about that foul ball trying to hit us.
That is Zach Freeman on the mound for the Chinooks.
From New Mexico State, 1-2 with a 7.56 ERA. He's appeared in 7 games.
0-1 pitch to Meyer. Swung on another foul ball.
I think he knows he's doing that. I think that's intentional. 8 1/3 innings on the season for Freeman, 7 Ks, 7 walks. Last pitched on the 20th. Got the loss against the Pilots. Gave up an earned run in 2/3 of an inning.
0-2 pitch on the outside corner, ball 3. Miners are up 8-3 over the Chinooks. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, foul ball down the third base side.
We also have tonight's attendance. I believe it was 7:02. We're going to have to look again. Excuse me, 5:02.
5-0-2.
It is 5:02. Pretty good crowd.
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's a little chilly.
The 1-2 pitch to Meyer. Swung on into right field. That'll get down for a base hit. And Meyer with a leadoff single. Top of the bottom of the 8th.
It's the 13th hit for the Miners.
And that brings up Jordan Rogers, the third baseman. Had a fly out in the 2nd, a single in the 4th, and was caught stealing. Then had a double in the 6th.
Batting for your Miners, third baseman Jordan Rogers.
Rogers, a right-handed batter, facing Freeman, a right-handed pitcher. First pitch in there, strike 1.
Reminder, get those Player of the Game nominations in. Tweet at us at ABL Miners. Send us an email, matsuminersbroadcast@gmail.com, or comment below. There are 2 guys I'm thinking about.
Swung on, ground ball to the third baseman, and it was almost a double play. Meyer is out at 2nd, but Rogers is safe at 1st with the 5-4 fielder's choice.
Center fielder Cameron Frost.
Brings us back to the top of the order with Cameron Frost. Frost hitting .382 with 1 home run, 8 RBIs, 5 doubles, 2 triples. First pitch in there, first strike. He was struck out in the 2nd inning, had a single in the 1st, then grounded out in the 4th and 6th innings. Rogers at 1st. 0-1 pitch, a little low, ball 1.
Oh, Terry's here. I didn't see Terry before the game. Terry helped Pete with some stuff on the field.
1-1 pitch, fouled back. Terry does everything around here.
Terry really does. Terry's got a key to everything around here, so you know he's big.
That's when you know you've made it. You have a key to everything.
Yeah, Terry's a great guy.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out for the Miners. Here's 1-2 pitch, swung on, deep ball into center field. Going back for it is Pollux. That'll get down and hit the wall. Rogers round seconds, heads to 3rd. Frost round 2nd and heads to 3rd. Rogers heads home. That'll be 1 run scored and a triple for Cameron Frost. What a hit and what a lot of speed. Frost was so fast he almost caught up to Rogers there and between 2nd and 3rd base.
You know, I'm not going to lie. I actually thought Cameron Frost had a very legitimate shot at an inside the park home run. But Pollux, here's the thing. Pollux has speed in center field, and that's probably what I would think made Ben Taylor decide to hold Frost at 3rd.
Yeah, I agree. He probably could have.
I think he could have.
It would have been close.
Right.
But
there was no way it would have been. I actually was telling you, I was kind of waving my finger around like I think that could be a home run.
This is lifted out of play by Paul Panachone, the shortstop. Sounds like someone caught that foul ball.
You know, I'm not going to catch my foul ball.
No,
Because
you're
like
not.
You said, like you said,
We are indoors.
we are inside.
1-1 pitch to Panachone. In there for strike 2. Panachone grounded out in the 1st, had a single and scored a run in the 3rd, was struck out in the 4th, and had a fly out in the 7th.
BT had a lot of fun with that one, too.
Oh, yes. Outside, ball 2. You can go to maybe a Red Sox game when you get back home after the summer.
Oh, I will.
Maybe catch a foul ball there.
Maybe 2.
2-2 pitch, hide inside.
They're struggling right now. Red Sox are in a little bit of a funk.
Don't even talk to me. The Rangers, they lost again today.
Red Sox, I think, are still playing.
3-2 pitch to Panachone. Called strike, and Panachone knows it. He's head back to the dugout. That is the first strikeout of the night for Zachary Freeman. And that is out number 2 for the Miners. Brings up left-handed hitter Cam Newell. Newell had a solo home run in his last at bat in the 7th inning over that right field wall. First pitch to Newell, a little high ball 1. Cameron Frost at third.
Miners lead the Chinooks 9-3 near the bottom of the 8th.
Miners 9 runs on 14 hits with 1 error. Chinooks 3 runs, 6 hits. High fly ball out of play by Newell. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Emma, we're getting a hang of the system we have here.
I think we are. The scorekeeping and talking about the game.
It was not easy at first.
1-1 pitch, a little outside, ball 2.
It was incredibly difficult. Some games are easier than others.
Definitely. This has been an easy game. 2-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled back again. And that'll drop literally in front of the catcher, A.J. Durr. And there was a fan yelling, "No, you don't, no, you don't." I guess Durr believed him and stopped chasing after the ball, but it was definitely catchable within play.
And as I said, the Red Sox are still playing. They lose 8-2 in Seattle.
At least the Miners are leading 9-3 over the Chinooks right now.
Yeah, we've been, I'll be very honest. We've been fortunate to see a lot of great baseball so far.
Pitch swung on, foul back again.
Makes it fun to watch.
Oh, definitely. This is a very fun team to watch. Pitching, hitting, base running, stolen bases. It's exciting.
Should be a 3-game win streak if they hang on.
Curveball a little outside for ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Tomorrow is Napa Day at the park. Our wonderful sponsor.
In case you haven't noticed. Swung on, ground ball into right field under the glove of first baseman Conkle, and that is an RBI single for Cam Newell. That'll bring Cameron Frost home, and now the Miners are ahead in the bottom of this 8th inning.
Now batting for the Miners, first baseman Matt Decker.
Brings up Matt Decker, the first baseman. 1 for 3 tonight with an RBI double. Swung on ground ball to Arndt, the second baseman. Throws it to Kunkel, the first baseman, and that's the 4-3 putout to end the inning. But the Miners scored 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors and 1 left on base. As we head to the top of the 9th inning, the Miners lead the Chinooks 10 runs to 3. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Isaiah Terrazas out on the mound. And the first pitch to A.J. Durr is fouled back, and it literally hits our roof. Right above us. Oof. That is strike one. And the second pitch by Terrazas hits A.J. Durr. And that will move A.J. Durr to first base and bring us back to the top of the order with Stephen Pollux for the Chinooks. Pollux has been struck out 3 times in the first inning, the 5th inning, and 6th inning, and had a ground out in the 3rd. Pollux batter hitting .264, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, and 3 doubles. 1-0 pitch, high and outside, ball 2. A.J. Durr with a lead off of first base.
Stephen Pollux came in with a 9-game hitting streak. That is in jeopardy right now.
2-0 pitch, little inside, ball 3. Miners lead 10-3 over the Chinooks here in the top of the 9th. Miners have had 15 hits. And that is ball 4 for Stephen Pollux. He will head to first base, and A.J. Durr, who was hit by a pitch, will head to second.
Now batting for the Chinooks.
Brings up James Navant. He is 2 for 4 tonight. Was struck out in the 3rd inning. Struck out in the 1st inning. Single in the 5th and scored a run, and had 7th and was left on base.
Terrazas, no record, a 9.00 earned run average. Appeared in yesterday's game against the Waves. 1 scoreless inning, gave up 2 hits, didn't walk anybody, didn't strike anybody out.
Low and outside, ball 2.
Also played against the Bucks. That was on Saturday. An inning, gave up 2 runs on 2 hits, struck out 1 and walked 1. Be sure to stay with us for the Matsu Miners post-game show brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Napa Day at the Park tomorrow. Hope to have an interview with one of the Napa representatives in the booth during the game. Be good to meet them. They're the ones who bring you guys everything. Post-game show after this one comes to an end here from manager Ben Taylor, and Taylor's taking our player of the game.
2-0 pitch swung on, lifted to center field. Charging is Frost. Frost makes a diving catch. What a play by the center fielder. And that'll hold the runners at their bases at first and second. And what a catch by Frost.
Yeah, that was great. He just came charging and charging and charging in.
His speed
Yeah.
really was shown there. Brings up Stephen Karkinney. He is hitless tonight and takes the first pitch by Terrazas and therefore a strike. So that now is 1 away for the Miners. Here's the 0-1 ball. Backhands it and not able to throw it in time. That is a single now for Karkinney. It moves the batters. That puts A.J. Durr at 3rd, Stephen Pollux at 2nd. And now at the plate, Jackson Kramer, the designated hitter, had a double in the 2nd and scored a run. Struck out in the 4th, walked in the 5th, and struck out in the 7th. First pitch to the lefty, inside, ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Big swing. Strike 1.
As I said, Miners in action tomorrow. They take on the Pilots at 7 o'clock.
1-1 pitch. Fouled back.
The Matsu Miners pregame show brought to you by Napa Auto Parts at 6:45. Get you ready for that one.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases are loaded for the Miners. Top of the 9th. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 2.
The summer clinics began today. We'll start at 9 a.m. to 12:30.
Pitch Ground ball down the first base side to Matt Decker. Decker tags first for the put out with Kramer. But all runners will advance, and A.J. Durr will come home, score the 4th run for the Chinooks. Brings up Kyle Conkle, the first baseman. 2 for 4 tonight. Actually, that's 2 for 3. First pitch by Terrazas. There for a ball. Swung on, lifted to shallow right field, right at, that'll fall just fair. Just foul. Cam Newell came over from right field and would try to do a diving catch, but just a little bit shy of the ball as the ball dropped foul. So Kyle Conkle will now step back into the batter's box. Swung on, high fly ball to left center field. Frost calls for it. And that is out number 3. Final score here at Herman Brothers Field, 10-4. The Miners beat the Chinooks through 9 innings of play. And what a performance by Kyle Serrano, the pitchers for the Miners, and not to mention the hitting. Again, the Miners just able to dominate the Chinooks. Austin, what did you see tonight?
It starts with Kyle Serrano. He really hung in there, and he put his team with a chance to win. When you think about the offense, the Miners were down 1-0 in that second inning. They come back and they just took it from there. That's what they do when they're down. They come back and win number 10.
And we will be right back with you with Taylor's Take with head coach Ben Taylor in the booth, and we will reveal and talk with our player of the game. We will be right back after this.
All right, back here on the Matthew Myers postgame show, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts here in Taylor's Take. Head coach Ben Taylor. Coach, good win.
Yeah, it was a really good win. For a lot of different reasons, it was a really good win tonight. I'm really proud of the team.
Kyle Serrano went out there, was a little shaky in his last start. So much better tonight, especially with the strikeouts, and it looked like his command was right on.
Yeah, he was awesome, and I was really, really mad when I thought he had the guy punched out to end the inning, and it wasn't meant to be there. But I don't think I could have asked much more from Kyle, and he really answered the bell and stepped up, and especially on 4 days rest. I mean, that's what a professional starter does.
And with 15 hits by the Miners, 2 home runs, these bats they keep being hot. These hitters keep hitting and getting on base.
Yeah, I was looking, from the third base box tonight. I'm like, okay, who's up? And then, Smitty's at the plate, and I'm like, okay, who's on deck? And I'm like, oh, Senzel's on deck. And I'm like, who's after him? And Blazer. And we got some really good hitters and some guys that give you a really tough at bat. Nick. That's a big story, I think, for tonight is Senzel. I mean, he had a huge breakout game. Probably his best game for us as a Matsu Miner. And, it's a lot of things to be proud of tonight.
Yeah, he was in a little bit of a slump. Turn that around tonight. Looks like he could be more on the positive side for the next couple of days.
That dude's a gamer, and I think he was a little tired when he got here, a little beat up. Sometimes the long season for a freshman. And he's got his legs and he feels good about life and he's been working early and, a real compliment to him. It's a great way to play the game.
And we saw Panachone and Conley out there working early with that kind of tossing, working the ball, the shortstop, second base. You seen a lot of guys come in early for work like that?
Yeah, I mean, we've got the sign-up sheet in the clubhouse, and we run 2 early work groups, a 2 o'clock group and a 2:45 group. And usually the 2:45 group fills up real quick, but the 2 o'clock group, there's no space there either. And these guys are getting their work in and day out, and they're starting to see it bears a lot of fruit. And, it makes me a proud coach when guys are out extra work like they are.
And we've got to see a couple of new guys, Ryan Oglesby and Isaiah Terrazas on the mound too.
Yeah, those guys are important for us. Oglesby, Luigi, we call him Luigi. Luigi, he's 89-91 with that slider with a little funk in the delivery, and he's a great bridge guy for us to get to, some combination of the 2 lefties and Vince. And Isaiah gives us another power right-handed arm. I mean, he went 89-90 again tonight, and, he's getting his legs under him. And, the nice part is everybody's feeling like part of the team, and everybody's contributing to wins now. And there's no better feeling than that.
You get that 10th win overall. How does it feel to get that's certainly an accomplishment, I think, in your book, especially with that little checklist you got going on in the clubhouse. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a big deal. It's part of what we do. It's a motivational thing, and anytime we can tick stuff off, we're really proud.
All right, Coach. That is head coach Ben Taylor and Taylor's Take. Coach, thank you very much. Congratulations. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
And we'll be right back with our player of the game, Kyle Serrano, on the Matsu Miners postgame show, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. All right, there you see him. Kyle Serrano, our player of the game. 8 strikeouts and 4 2/3. Kyle, just seemed much more on your game tonight. Last start, a little shaky with your control, but so much more comfortable tonight.
Yeah, I was a little down last week, and the only thing I could do was just come back out and just throw strikes.
You said you wanted to work on your command. What have you done? What have you changed since that last start?
Not too much. I mean, just kind of sticking with the same thing, sticking to the plan, throw some more fastballs, and just try to force contact.
Did you think it was the breaking balls that gave you a little more trouble with the command?
No, until I can throw fastballs for strikes over and over again, there's no really reason to worry about it a lot.
Sounded like a lot of pop in Josh Meyer's glove. You know what the speeds? What were you ranging tonight, or you don't know?
I think like low to mid 90s is the same as usual usually.
And you finished with 8 strikeouts and only 3 walks. So is that helping you? You have the goal of walking less batters. Is that something you're still working for?
Yeah, I'm definitely still working. I still want more than that with the amount of innings that I went, but it was a step forward from last weekend.
All right, that's Kyle Serrano, your player of the game on the Matthew Myers postgame show. Kyle, congratulations, and we'll see you later.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, Kyle Serrano, and that will just about wrap up the Matsu Miners postgame show brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Once again, the final score: the Miners defeat the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks 10-4. Emma, what do you got?
I think that the Miners just came out in full force tonight. Kyle Serrano had a great outing with 8 strikeouts, and Oglesby, Rodriguez, Howard, Terrazas, all these relief pitchers that came in, they also pulled their own weight, held the Chinooks down to mention there were 15 hits on the other side by the Miners. So I think we saw what this team is really capable of, and whenever everyone is functioning at 100% and everyone is doing so well all at the same time, the pitching and the hitting, I think this team can do big things.
They are fun to watch. It's still early. They get win number 10. They are 10-4 on the season, still holding that top spot in the National League. For Emma Tiedemann, I'm Austin Pollack. Once again, the final score: the Miners beat the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks 10-4. Back at it tomorrow night against the Pilots. 7 o'clock start. Napa Day at the Park. Join us at 6:45 for the Matthew Miners pregame show, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Once again, the final score: the Miners beat the Chinooks 10-4.